the Adirondacks offered a sanctuary for composers David Krakauer and Kathleen Tagg, once they heard the music of the mountains. The two musicians had arrived in Saranac, New York in early June for a virtual concert project, thinking they'd only stay a few days, but they were never in a hurry to return to the Big Apple.
In the midst of the pandemic, there's just a real feeling of intense stress in New York. When we came up here to the Adirondacks, there was just this absolute relief. Our concerts were canceled. We had a whole itinerary going all over Europe. So we had all this time, and also Hill and Hollow's activities were canceled as well. And so our arts residency, which normally would have been a few days, really turned into several weeks.
The composers turned those several weeks away from Manhattan into a time to concentrate on a composition they'd been commissioned to write for the Santa Rosa Symphony. Krakauer calls the piece the Fretless Clarinet, for klezmer clarinet and orchestra.
It was just amazing to get out of New York and to have the sense of open space, that we could be socially distanced organically. You know, it didn't have to be like this game of like playing some kind of crazy video game of dodging everybody.
Being able to be away from home is absolutely vital for us to be able to write, just to have a headspace that's clearer, to have a space to think that's not in our own apartment. That's why so many artists go to artist colonies to be able to write. And so to have, during this pandemic time, had an opportunity to actually be in a place that is so beautiful and to really be able to focus on our work has been a gift.
It's been amazing for me every day to go to my desk, sit and write for hours. And Kathleen and I are so grateful to Hill and Hollow Music for this incredible opportunity to just be creative in an incredibly focused way.
The composers have written many pieces together, including film music, but this is the first concerto they're creating for a soloist and full orchestra. The composition is designed to showcase Krakauer's virtuosity on the clarinet and his innovative ways of honoring Eastern European klezmer music.
This concerto really references a lot of my different influences. It's almost a glossary of my work for the past 30 years.
The piece they're composing betrays an influence from the past summer in the Adirondacks as well.
I love the thunderstorms, and I think at a certain point there is the third movement, the sense of the power of nature.
For this collaboration, Tagg is creating the orchestrations, deciding how the many instruments of a full orchestra will sound with the clarinet music Krakauer is writing.
My primary goal is to have the sound of the clarinet always able to be really heard. It's very hard to a voice like a clarinet to have it always able to be heard above a whole symphony orchestra, so it's a tricky thing. I come in after he starts to generate material, and then I'll take it, I'll harmonize it, I'll work with what he's given me
sort of presenting my ideas to her, and then she runs with the ball and fleshes it out and brings her ideas to the table, harmonizations, counter lines. We work together for the overall structure.
To be in a place with such natural beauty and to just be able to, look outside every day, to be able to sit outside and breathe and think. And we come out with our notebooks and we go on walks and we talk about the piece and we talk about the music that we're writing, and it just gets the juices flowing and it gets us thinking.
We can't believe how fortunate we are and just how wonderful it is to be here in this beautiful part of the world.
The concerto was originally set to premiere in January of 2021, but the virus situation leaves the premiere date up in the air. One date, however, is certain. November 27th is when you may see David Krakauer and Kathleen Tagg perform the virtual concert Breath and Hammer Acoustic. The program, resulting from a partnership between Hill and Hollow Music and Mountain Lake PBS, airs at 1 o'clock that Friday afternoon on Mountain Lake PBS.
Spotlight is supported by the Glenn and Carol Pearsall Adirondack Foundation, dedicated to improving the quality of life for year-round residents of the Adirondack Park.